Hello fellow AFL enjoyers, it's Matsa with another SUPERCOACH video, and this last week has changed the team significantly. But before I get into it, quick thing. We're going to do AFL enjoyers footy tipping. Here's a little code for you to join us. Top 3 get a free t-shirt, AFL enjoyers t-shirt. So yeah, if you got the time, chuck it in. I'll put this in the description. Anyway, this is the team that I presented last week, and all these dudes are gone. A lot, not all, but a lot. Anyway, we'll start off. Sissels for the moment is gone. Rivers is gone. Mills injured, gone. O'Sullivan at the moment is gone. Allen gone. This guy gone. Butters injury, unfortunately, he has to go. He didn't make the cut, buddy. Davies Uniacke for the moment is out. I can't fit him in. Will Day can't fit you in either. Peatling didn't impress us enough. He has to go. Now, Hewitt's out for the minute, but if he gets named, he'll probably come back into the squad. Angove, I think Hall's out. He might sneak his way back in. I'm not sure. Gorney goes out because we found out that De Koning is going to be playing solo ruck. Reedy's out and Garcia's out. So we've done one. How many players are left? How many players have survived the cut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Not many of. Look, more than half the teams changed over the last week, and it makes sense because there's been injuries, this and that. So now we'll start off with the defense. Now I want to go with Lockie Whitfield. And if the situation is that both of these two, Zorko and Whitfield, had an early bye, I'd go Whitfield. But because the Brisbane-Geelong game, I think it's Brisbane-Geelong, is being postponed, Zorko has to come in. So not only does he not have that bye round that Whitfield has, the scoring potential is quite similar. So Zorko comes in. My only concern with him is the round 1 Sydney game, because James Jordan might go to him. He might go to Neil. I'm not too sure. With James Jordan being a really good tagger. Anyway, so there is Zorko. The next pick, I'm not entirely happy with this pick, but you've got to take the value when it comes up, and it's Matt Roberts. Now, Matt Roberts, I'm sure you guys have all had a look at this already, but since he's entering my team for the first time I think it might be the first time he's entering my team, we're going to do the DFSA average of those 7 games. So the 7 games before the finals went crazy. Weird that the finals just didn't go as well, but even then, he's still value at that point. So 79 is his average, what he's priced at average. Even with those 3, average finals games, still value. But without those finals games, the actual SUPERCOACH games that count, 111 there. And we saw him do the business in. Actually, we can bring up the live scoring. We saw him do that didn't work how I wanted it to. Where is it now? Gold Coast, Sydney. We saw him do a solid job. He top scored, actually. There we go. He top scored. So obviously they're looking to get the ball in his hands. He gets a lot of kicks. I don't think he needs to dominate kick-ins to get his scores. So if we go into the there's something blocking the way there. The screen recorder thing is blocking the way for the CBA tab, also the kick-ins tab. So we're going to go here. Kick-ins. Oh no, the kick-in tab is there. Anyway, I'm dumb. So look, Matt Roberts last year in that little run, so it was right here. Apart from the huge Collingwood game, kick-in game, he still shares it with Blakey. So it's not like he had a little bit more, but it's as long as there's an even split, he can get his points because they it seems like they like to give the ball to him and he provides him a little bit of movement, a bit of drive. So Matt Roberts comes in. That might be a little bit too much Roberts talk, but considering he's a pick that I don't really like, and I'll probably get rid of him soon, but he's in there for now. Next one is Perryman. Now with Perryman, go to the live scoring. Again, this is just me just overreacting to preseason games, but I think the impressive thing for him is the CBAs were quite high. And 10 tackles, 20 disposals, played a lot of the game. 122, yeah, no, it's hard to overlook him, to be honest with you. He goes into the top three for CBAs for Collingwood straight away. So I'm happy to have him in. Scored a goal as well, so shows that he can be a bit damaging too. So anyway, Perryman comes in. He has, what's he priced to average at? Priced to average at 77. I think he's a 95 at least, The hope is that he can manage to, sneak up to the 105 territory, and then at that point he's a keeper. So look, with Perryman and Roberts, we're hoping that they can just become keepers, and then we can just worry about the last two spots here, who are going to be rookies for now, because we don't know if these guys are even going to get named or if they're any good. So Leak, who had the most CBAs for GWS, Trainer, and Bice. Now Bice, we're going to go to AFL.com, and I'm going to show you. He had. Actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. You guys are just going to have to trust me because I can't be bothered finding that. So we look at his score on the live scoring here. Again, over here. Riley Bice. So from 58% time on ground, you got a 67. Now, that's inflated by him having 5 kick-ins, which is a lot. I don't expect him to get kick-ins like that during the season, to that extent. But it does show that he can, look, if he's in there and he does get kick-ins, the scoring potential's there. Now it's just, is the spot his? Is it his or is it Patton's? Either way, one of them will probably end up in the team for now. So anyway, that's the defense. It might be a bit lighter than a lot of other people's defense, because I reckon people are trying to go 5 deep this year, and I might be going 5 deep, to be honest. Like I'll show you some contingencies if I decide to change my mind on that. But anyway, into the midfield. Now the midfield is completely different, completely decimated, but Sarong is coming in at the minute. Now I'm unsure between Sarong, Neil, and Brayshaw. I think they're all really solid picks, but you can't fit them all. And especially with how the team is structuring up at the minute, and you'll see how it's structuring up, it's difficult to fit them all. So we have Sarong in there for now. Now the next pick, and shout out to a commenter. I can't remember your name, but shout out to you. You know who you are. Who said the other Port Adelaide midfielder you should be looking at is Connor Rozee. And I appreciated the comment, and I think, you're right. He was, before the Butters injury, he was a good pod. Now he shouldn't really be a pod. And he's in 22% of teams now. I think he's as close to a must-have as there is this year. And first of all, we'll look at the early fixture, Collingwood. See, Collingwood maybe, who knows if they're going to use Perryman as that defensive midfielder to tag him. That might be the case. But if he doesn't, he'll get Collingwood don't usually tag. So if it's as per normal for them, he could score well against Collingwood. And then these 3 midfields they're known to give up points. So the scoring could be huge from Rozee. And I want to have a little look and show you guys. We'll break down some of the numbers for him for last season. So Rozee, he averaged a 106 in 2023, averaged a 96 last year. Now, that is heavily influenced by, we're not going to worry about finals. We're going to go straight to these games here. It's heavily influenced by injuries and sub performances. So, all right. So these games, actually, is that the Collingwood game? I'm trying to have a look. Yeah, no, I think this is what I'm looking for. So actually, we can add that game in. We can add this game into his average, because he didn't, even though he got subbed off, he did quite well. So these 3 games, so two here. Once, injury, two injuries there. Against North, he hardly played, so he had 27% CBAs, hardly did anything. You could argue to take this game away from his averages as well, as he was trying to find his feet again. So, get rid of that little month in the middle, a little 4-game stretch in the middle, a 106, which is his previous year's average. Now, let's chop away at a few of these lower CBA games. So, we got rid of two 40% CBA games, 107 there. A couple of these early 50s, 109, 113 if we get rid of all those 50s. So the reason why we're able to do this, and the reason it makes sense to isolate these stats right here, is because with Butters out, he's surely going to get 60% CBAs. I'm surprised he didn't even get it last year, to be honest with you, like in every game. Obviously, I guess they do have quite a lot of midfielders that they rotate through there, like Corn Francis, Drew, and Wines. But now, I think Rozee is the closest thing to Butters in regards to just that injection of pace and, that sleek, sort of smooth-moving midfielder. And, yeah, with the CBAs up from, he averaged the 113. So, and there was a spike game in there as well. Like, there was a couple big games, like a 168 here when he had 88% CBAs and, a 152 there. Rozzie's a must pick. So he comes into the team. I'm not going to justify it any further. He actually might even be my M1, believe it or not, and I'll show you why a bit later. So he comes in, easiest selection that you'll make. So Clary goes in there. Now, there's one more midfielder that I'm missing. There's one more, actually. One more relatively high-priced midfielder. We're going to go by price. Where is it? So it's... What's he priced at? Where's our boy? Man? I'm just going to have to search him up, and it's the Italian boy, Chera. I must have missed him. Let's have a look at what he did. So GWS versus Carlton. 108 from 57% time on ground. A goal. Look, I think when the value's there, and this year I'm really focusing on value, you got to take it. And so I will be taking it. And while we're at that, the TDK he made sure that everyone selected him. He's made 45% of teams. He's made sure that, he's snuck into all the teams. So now a slightly different pick. I think he's a bit of a different pick because I don't think he's in 30% of teams. So it's not really different. But look, Finn O'Sullivan, I've been against it. I've been against picking him for a while. I've come around on him. And so very quickly, as a North supporter, he's impressed me, right? Just as, purely as from the football perspective. But now from the perspective of a SUPERCOACHer, we're going to look at his score first of all. And then I'll give you a little bit of a story of the game. So score, he ended up almost turning up a 99, 83% time on ground. So with him, he plays wing during the first half and he does really well. There's little moments. There's one moment specifically where he gets the ball. He's in a bit of a precarious position. He's sort of, a bit of quick feet, kicks it on his left foot and finds a target. It was beautiful, right? He's a smooth user of the footy, a good user of the footy. In the second half, after playing on the wing, he goes to halfback, has 3 intercept marks. 3 intercept marks, and not that they were the most impressive, flying in from the side, contested intercepts, or, it's not like, and again, it's not like he was versing a great forward line in, West Coast without the young fella, Oscar Allen, being in there. But still, it shows that he has the ability to be physical as a defender, and they're going to get the ball in his hands because he's a good user. And also, he's got a high engine as well. So I don't have any hesitancy to pick him now. And look, we know this from North Melbourne in the past. The apprenticeship is play a halfback, high draft pick, play halfback, and then we'll move you into a different position the next year or so. I think this is Finn O'Sullivan's opportunity. And maybe he gets defender status and then we can move him back. And that will be cool too. So more versatility there. So Tsaras, I already had him. There we go. He's maintained this spot. Now, Nevitt's going to come back in, but I just want to open up these positions over here, these on-field positions, because Levi Ashcroft comes in. He did enough to impress me and enough to make me agree with the 66% of people to get him in. So he comes in, and there was one more dude off the top of my head. Oh, that's it, Sheldrick. Now, Sheldrick, let's again, we'll go down to the live scoring because this is how we make all our SuperCoach calls, is preseason scores apparently. Sheldrick 100, 73% time on ground, not the biggest amount. Surprised he got 100 from these stats. Like, there must be some hidden stats in there. So 7 tackles, 22 disposals, 3 marks, maybe a few free falls or something, because I'm trying to figure out how that score comes about. But anyway, 100 SuperCoach. He's done it. Here's his opportunity. Like, if we were touch and go with him and his role and his ability to make the midfield, but now that Goulden's gone, and who else? And Mills is gone. He gives us about 3 or 4 weeks to just make as much cash as you can, and we're going to run with it. So he's going to be on the field. Now Nevitt comes in here, and another young fella comes and hits the bench. I think it's based on the ownership. It is Lucas. It's not Ben, because I think I had Ben in my team for a while because I didn't know which was which. But Camprielli comes in. I think with him, Ollie Hollands was their winger for the last what couple of years he's been in the system. He's been their predominant winger. Now he's moved to halfback. The wing spot opens up, and it looks like Camprielli's taking the opportunity to get in there. What was his score? What was his score? So 88 fantasy points, which is interesting. So he got a lot of the ball. Didn't use it probably quite as well as he could have, but that's fine. For me, that's I'm more than happy to get him in. So he comes in there. Now, Boyd is not going to be in the flex spot for us anymore. He has to move. He's going to go in there. And I'm not sure about Boyd, to be honest with you. And look, worst case scenario, we've just gone bargain, the basement price guy, and he can be our loop. But yeah, I don't really think he's. I wouldn't begrudge you if you put a forward ruck swing for the versatility at this stage. If you can afford it, I think why not? At this stage, I'm going to keep Boyd in there because you just don't know. Maybe round 1 he comes in, Marshall plays forward because of all their injuries, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Boyd's the guy. But in saying that, very easily he could not be named round 1, and then I don't know, we go for a forward ruck swing, or maybe we just have him there anyway, just as the cheapest player. Anyway, he's there for now. I don't know why I talked about that selection so much. Now, much like how Rozee came in because of an injury, the next guy comes in for an injury as well, and that's Riley Sanders. I think it's the most obvious pick, just about, apart from maybe Rozee, or I don't know, apart from DeConnick. There's a few obvious picks, but Sanders, he comes in. Now, the score itself wasn't super impressive. Bulldogs versus Hawks. Here we go. Not the most impressive score. What did he end up on? 79 from 77% time on ground. That's not the greatest score, but shout out to Enigma here, Fantasy Enigma, posting CBAs, right? Let's have a little look. Where's the C? Here we go. No, I want to see CBAs. Here we go. So this is, CBAs and kick-ins for the Hawks game. 20. So the most CBAs. So obviously, Bevo's realized, okay, we spent a top 5 pick on this guy that we traded up to get. Here we go. What's this? 3/4 time. Okay, so this is just quarter by quarter. Obviously, Sanders is, Bevo's realized, all right, this is the guy who we traded up to get. Now we better start playing him in the guts where he's good at footy and he gets a lot of the ball. If we look into his VFL stats, which pretty cool that it comes up on DFSA as well, you can see that the disposal numbers are just massive. So that's nothing. That's cool. But anyway, 35, 21. Look at the disposal numbers are crazy. And the tackle number, so even in that game with low disposals, 14 tackles. So with high CBAs, scores happen. Seen it at VFL level. I'm assuming we saw it at junior level. I can't remember what the scores were for his junior days, but I'm sure they were great there too. And now we've got 310 remaining. And I'm curious as how much this guy's ownership has gone up. But again, 21%. There you go. So it seems like a lot of people are just as degenerate as me and just watching these practice games and, seeing, basing their selections off it. But Flynn comes in. Now, with Flynn, being that he's in this flex position, if he fails and we've got 48K left, there's options. Like there's Finlayson. There's Sid Draper as a little downgrade and bring him in. That's based on if he is if he's not the sub. That's someone that we can bring in. But look, for now, with the number one ruck duties as it appears he has, Flynn is the guy to go. He's the guy to bring in, and I'm happy to risk it on him. Someone I was looking at the start of the season, and now that he's shown that he's fit at the minute and he's scoring, we're gonna bring him in. Anyway, we're gonna save the team quickly. Chuck a couple emergencies on because otherwise we get that error message. So now the team has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 guys who could potentially go like the 90 plus. And during the best 18, that's pretty impressive. We're going to lose a couple in Roberts and Perryman, and that's why I'm a bit less sure on, probably more so Roberts than Perryman. But I feel like there might be better options that we can go with and just avoid the buy situation entirely. So this is what we got for the minute. It's not the worst to have them in because they're just, at least their value, and it's only 1 week that you have to worry about. But yeah, no, the team is heavily attacking the value. But yeah, so look, the little contingency I will talk about with this team is, so we've got 4 rookie defenders with varying job securities. I think Zach Reed is the only one I think has job security week in, week out. He's just an injury risk guy. Leak, I think he has 50-50 job security, but I reckon he's good for a 60. Trainer, back to the live scoring. Where's the young fella? Where's it? Richmond. Early. It was early on. There we go. He did very well, I remember, but I can't see his name. Here we go. Trainer. So 39 Supercoach in 27% time. 40% time on ground. Yeah, so look, that's impressive for a rookie defender. Does he have job security? Clearly not, because he didn't play the full game. So we'll have to see with him. And Riley Bice, we talked about him a bit earlier. So look, the contingency is, let's say Riley Bice has to go. It's probably going to mean, all right, the easy fix, the quick fix, as weird as it seems, is he goes. Whitfield comes in, or maybe even Thistles. And then we can get another rookie defender, and it means we have to start Nevitt, which it's not the worst. I think it'll have to be Whitfield. We'll go with Whitfield. Yeah, it's going to be Whitfield because I think he's a 120 potential average. And look, I don't really have too much hesitation in picking him up. there might be a few people who are going to be jumping off and just going into Zorko like I've done. So it might make him slightly more of a pod, but probably not. Let's see what this team would look like. We'll go Elijah Hewitt for now. Now, this is an extreme that I don't know if I can stomach. But look, I think the highest price midfielder is 529. So this, I actually really like this team, but it's reliant on Whitfield and Zorko being 120 guys. And I think they can be 120 guys, to be honest with you. I think, you know what, I'll do a little experiment with you guys. And this is something that I did. This is something that I've already done myself. So we're going to open up Whitfield here. We're going to go who's his future matchups. Melbourne, Hawthorn, West Coast. Now, this is where the little half and half page comes in handy. Hopefully this looks okay on YouTube, but we'll find out. All right. So who does he have? So Melbourne, Hawthorn, West Coast, St Kilda. All right. Let's go one at a time. Where's Melbourne? Melbourne. All right. Big game against Melbourne. Hawthorn. Another big game against Hawthorn. West Coast. There it is. West Coast. St Kilda. Only versus St Kilda once. Yeah, only versus St Kilda once. So 125. 125, a modest 125 average against his first 5 opponents. So that's what impresses me about Whitfield. And Adelaide, so still a 123. Where's Bulldogs? A big game against the Bulldogs there. Another game there. So look at that average against the first 7 opponents, a 126. So I think this team, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to leave it with 5 rookie forwards and 5 primo defenders. I'm going to leave it like that for now. I think that Whitfield can do this, which is basically Sarong. This is basically what Sarong's doing, and we don't have to worry about bad job security rookie defenders. Look, if the rookie defenders appear to have a bit more job security going into round 1, which we'll only find out by just the Thursday teams and whether they're subs or not. If they do have job security, I'll probably just get Sarong. But look, this isn't too bad either. This really isn't too bad either. And so we were talking about Zorko earlier and whether he can do something similar, right? Let's get up Zorko here. So first few games, Sydney, which is a concern, to be honest with you, because you might get tagged. Well, that game probably didn't get tagged. We're not going to include finals because we're just SUPERCOACH people here. Any other games against Sydney? No. So West Coast. Didn't do that great against West Coast, believe it or not. Richmond, he would have gone crazy against Richmond. Yeah, that was a big game. Bulldogs. Collingwood. There we go. So 118 is what he's averaging against his first few teams. And then we had the St Kilda game, which is, it's interesting. Yeah, okay, so 118 still. So look, Whitfield kind of looks better in that first part of the season. Let's add Gold Coast as well, actually. Because Gold Coast, he feasts on Gold Coast. Yeah. So there we go. So 124. So he's sort of balanced it out as well. So as you can see, in the first 7-8 rounds of the season, Zorko and Whitfield score well against those teams. And I think that's important. So does that mean that they can replace a Sarong or a Dacos or a Lockie Neal? Probably not. But look, I'm willing to take the risk this year. And, I don't mind fielding Nevitt, to be honest with you. It would have been nice to see him in opening round to know the role specifically, but it is what it is. Look, it's all about the safety of the people in Brisbane. So better that there's no game. So anyway, that was a bit of a longer one than I expected. But thank you if you got that far. Let me know what you're thinking about this 5 rookies in the midfield look. Am I dumb? Am I not dumb? Yeah, let me know if you know any advice on your teams. I can give you some poor advice if you like. Up to you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.